Heyo, and what is up, gang? Thank you for checking out Sledgehammer TV tonight. You know, tonight's episode of Friday Night Smackdown ended with a very, very disturbing shot. It had a shot of Roman Reigns handcuffed to a steel post, getting dog food dumped all over him by King Corbin and Dolph Ziggler. And I really, really did sympathize for Roman Reigns. Not because I care about Roman Reigns, not because what they did to him was so wrong, but because it was the visual representation of exactly how it feels to be a wrestling fan and sitting down to watch a WWE program on Monday and especially on Friday, as SmackDown seems to be hell-bent on becoming the absolute worst show the WWE has to offer, and those are some pretty damn big shoes to fill when you got Raw as part of the family, and we are here to talk about it all right here and right now. My name is Nick Nightmare, and you are watching the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show's Friday Night SmackDown review. Let's do it.
The Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
Coming out of last week's SmackDown, I was waiting for the follow-up, as many of you guys were, to what the hell happened to Daniel Bryan after The Fiend sucked him underneath the ring and apparently tore his hair from his head with his bare hands. So that was one of my main reasons for tuning in to SmackDown tonight. I needed to see where the hell this was going to go. I wasn't truly happy about it, but it is what it is, and we were looking to see what was going to come of it all. And apparently, nothing has come of it all because Daniel Bryan has disappeared. And if there were ever anybody in the WWE that I wish would disappear, it would be the entire WWE creative team. And you're going to hear people tell you, oh, this was interesting, this was cool. They decided to shift gears. This is the whole reason they had The Miz involved from the beginning, because now we are going to have The Miz versus Red Sweater Bray Wyatt, not The Fiend, at WWE TLC, because Daniel Bryan is missing. Daniel Bryan hasn't been heard from, he hasn't been seen since last Friday. And that's all I really gave a shit about. So you took that away from me, and now I don't really care about the show. And to make it even worse, you decided to shift gears to The Miz. Now, I don't understand it. Why the hell would The Miz be so caring and so worried about a guy that he has had a blood-hate feud with over the last 3 to 4, maybe even more? Maybe like the last 10 years, if we're being accurate, dating it all the way back to the original inception of NXT, when Daniel Bryan was a part of that whole shit show. Why? What is The Miz's endgame? What is the purpose of this all? Why is The Miz still a good guy? Good guy Miz is the worst Miz, and putting him against Bray Wyatt isn't doing him any favors. Do you think The Miz is going to win? No. You're putting him in the most high-profile storyline on SmackDown Live right now. For what reason? What is he adding to the situation? All he's doing, and all he has done, is giving the WWE a way out of giving us this Daniel Bryan segment, or the Daniel Bryan match with The Fiend at TLC, apparently. Or are we still going to have that match, and we'll see The Fiend versus Daniel Bryan, but we're going to see Bray Wyatt versus The Miz at the same show? I don't know. I don't know, but I do know that it doesn't make sense. And sure, the little segment they cut, it was intriguing, you know, to see Bray Wyatt targeting The Miz now, because The Miz wants to get involved in his business. He's worried about where Daniel Bryan is. He wants to get down to the bottom of it. Bray Wyatt's got pictures of Maurice and The Miz's 2 newborn daughters, or the one newborn and the other baby daughter, to be more accurate. And I'm sitting here wondering why the WWE feels it absolutely necessary to keep bringing everybody's wives into things. We got the whole stupid Lana and Rusev bullshit. We had Maria and Mike Kanellis. And now we are going to have more husband and wife drama. We are going to have The Miz needing to defend the honor of his family. He's afraid that the Fiend is going to attack his girls. Why? Why? Where is this all coming from? It's all completely out of left field. And it's not what anybody was looking forward to. And most importantly, it does not make any sense. The Miz championing the cause of Daniel Bryan. For what? For what reason? All of a sudden, he's got respect for Daniel. All of a sudden, he needs to make sure he's okay. That's some bullshit right there. And I don't understand it at all. And I'm not looking forward to it. I don't even care if that match doesn't have the red lighting. Everybody's already talking about, oh, well, there's not going to be the red lighting. That should be a good thing. I don't care. The match is not making sense. The match is very predictable. We all know the end result already. Is this where we are going to see the return of Daniel Bryan and his bald head or whatever it's going to be, and he's going to maybe insert himself into this matchup? Or is Daniel Bryan ever going to have this match with The Fiend at TLC? I don't know. It's very confusing when you watch SmackDown because nothing makes sense. And it's not interesting. It's not interesting at all. Seeing The Miz walking around all scared in the back. Calling Maurice. I'm worried. Stay safe. I'm coming home. You're so worried and you're coming home, but you go and you're walking through the arena to get to your car and you see a red light. You see a red light and an open door. You know what's going to be in there. But instead of going to your family, you go and investigate the red light, only to be attacked by Bray Wyatt. And he has a little that picture he showed earlier of The Miz and his family. He has that very same picture up, but only he has his own face superimposed on there, as if he wants to steal The Miz's whole entire family from him. And this is just garbage. This is garbage. This is unnecessary. You had a story going. You had me interested. You had me hooked with the whole Daniel Bryan thing and The Fiend. And now I don't care. Until we get back on track with that, this is all unnecessary, waste of time bullshit to me. A throwaway match for no reason, just like this whole entire episode was a throwaway episode of SmackDown Live. This whole episode is way, way worthy of a big old fat poop hammer. And I would give it specifically to this whole, Miz situation. But there's a whole lot more we could give it to. And you can get your own Poop Hammer t-shirts right now. Bonfire.com/store/sledgehammer-tv. If you're looking to get some cool threads for the Christmas season, you can pick up and support and wear proudly the logo of your favorite wrestling show or the most deadliest weapon in all of the YouTube wrestling community, the Poop Hammer, which comes raining down on the world of professional wrestling every time we sit behind one of these cameras. Don't forget to get yours today. The link will be in the description down below, as well as in a pinned comment at the top of the comment board. Support us that way if you can. If not, we will also take thumbs ups if you were enjoying this show and agree with anything I've had to say so far, but stay tuned because there's a whole lot more to come. You can share this video with each and every one of your wrestling buddies all over the wrestling world, like I will tell you once again to do at the end of the show. And most importantly, come on board and subscribe if you feel like you have found the guy that understands what you're feeling when you're watching these dreadful shit shows. Friday night suckdown, as we have become so accustomed to doing here on Sledgehammer TV. I don't care. I have nothing to care about. I care as little about all of those interactions between The Miz and Bray Wyatt as I do about the Alexa Bliss versus Mandy Rose match. This was just like a reason to have everybody jerk off, right? You just put this match on there so that all of us red-blooded heterosexual males and any of the females that are attracted to the same sexual orientation that have a little thing for the little Miss Bliss or something for the Golden Goddess. You all wanted us to jerk off, right? That's what we were supposed to do. We were supposed to watch their two bodies just flop around the ring, right? And then you have the two slightly less attractive brunettes on the outside that represent, it's the same exact thing. It's like looking at a mirror, and you got Mandy and Alexa fighting, and then you got Nikki Cross and Sonya Deville on the outside, and it's, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Why are we giving Alexa Bliss singles wins over Mandy Rose for no reason? There's no heat behind it. There's nothing to it. What, were they picking on Nikki Cross? So Alexa Bliss has to come to her aid. Alexa Bliss is a babyface now. We're going to try to get her over as the face of the women's division on the babyface side. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were going to do that with the other one. Bam, bam. I'm now a babyface. I still suck garbage and smell like mothballs. Bam, 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 bam. Little remix for you guys at the end there. You know that's coming, because I don't understand where the fuck that's coming from either, any more than I understand this. Alexa Bliss defeats Mandy Rose in a tremendously sloppy matchup that didn't do anything for me, didn't do anything for any of you, unless you were one of those people who decided to pleasure yourself during that matchup, which, you know, I don't need to do those type of things because I have a very hot wife that I will take care of myself with. Take care of me, not take care of myself with, although that might be fun too. We could maybe try that. I don't know, but it'll be more entertaining and more worth my time than sitting and watching a Smackdown. Oh my God. Terrible. It gets worse, if you could imagine, because we go to the back for a segment that was made to piss me off. Drake Maverick and Dana Brooke continuing where they left off last week, absolutely wasting everybody's time. And now Drake Maverick wants to talk to Dana Brooke about she's going on a date with Dave Bautista. In real life, in reality, I told you guys they've been getting at each other on social media, and apparently they're going to start getting at each other in hotel rooms because they're going to start dating. And, you know, Dave, get your prescription tech, but otherwise, if you could see clearly and that's your thing and you like banging sausages, you know, hey, good for you, bro. That's you. To each his own. Another little bit of respect for Dave Bautista, but, you know, the taste in women maybe, if, at least in my opinion, is a little bit lacking. And the fact that it has now become a thing on WWE TV, so that we can have Dana Brooke on TV talking about it with Drake Maverick, only to have Elias show up. So now Elias apparently is a babyface once again as well, because he wants to sit there and run down Drake Maverick to defend Dana Brooke, telling Drake Maverick all of the reasons why Dave Bautista is better than he is in sing-song form. He's taller, he's bigger, he's wasting my time with this shit again. This is the best you got for Elias. I don't need to see it. And now you're going to have him paired at the hip with Dave Bautista's new girlfriend? I don't understand. We have this whole confrontation in the back that leads to Drake Maverick being pissed off enough at Elias, because Elias made the insinuation that he actually banged Drake Maverick's wife, which he would tell us later on he did not. But this made Drake Maverick so mad he wanted to fight Elias, and he wanted to go out to the ring to do it. Elias comes out, he makes a fool out of Drake Maverick and a fool out of the rest of us, because we're sitting here watching pro wrestling, and now we are watching one grown man spank a semi-grown man, but still supposed to be a grown-ass man in the middle of a wrestling ring, spanking him like a child, while Dana Brooke cheers gleefully with visions of Batista plums dancing around her head. And then it gets even more cringeworthy as after Elias hits the drift away on Drake Maverick, he allows Dana Brooke to put her foot on Drake Maverick's chest and then do like a fake 3 count, giving Dana Brooke the win over Drake Maverick in this unsanctioned, unofficial matchup. Absolutely awful. Who gave a shit about this segment? After this segment, we come back to the back where The Miz is on his way out. As we already pointed out to you guys a little bit earlier, he's out of the way of the arena. He's going out of the arena. And he sees the open door with the red lighting. He kicks open the door. He sees the picture of his family, but it has Bray Wyatt's face where his face should be. Suddenly, Bray Wyatt attacks The Miz from the back, hits a Sister Abigail, threw the picture at The Miz, told him there's no place like home for the holidays, and then walked off. I didn't care. Maybe it's just me, but I didn't care. This doesn't matter. My interest was with the Daniel Bryan story, and now you're sidestepping it to do this thing with The Miz. And even if Daniel Bryan becomes a part of this storyline, this is just a stalling tactic and something, I don't even want to call it creative. They may be trying to do something creative, but it's almost like maybe they weren't sure where to go next. So you know what? We'll do this instead until we figure out what the hell it is we're actually going to do with Daniel Bryan. I don't know. Fatal 4-way elimination matchup. The winners of this tag team matchup are going to get a shot at the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, The New Day, at the upcoming TLC pay-per-view. Because instead of building up tag teams and making any one of them feel important enough to actually have a tag team championship matchup, we're going to take 4 tag teams, one of which is a recently randomly paired together singles duo, and we're going to have just the winner get a title shot. Because we don't do things the right way. We got 2 weeks to book this thing, so let's do it. And let's have the Revival in this thing. And let's have the Lucha House Party, and let's have Heavy Machinery, and we'll bring in the Ali G Show. Chad Gable and Mustafa Ali. Now this matchup, action-wise, was very, very good. It was entertaining, and it was very well thought out, with the exception of the winner. I was enjoying a lot of this tag team matchup. I like elimination-style matchups for the most part. I always was a big fan of that. That's why I always enjoyed the Survivor Series as one of my favorite pay-per-views of the year. Growing up my whole life, it was one of the reasons why I love that so much. And here you give it to the Revival. You give it back to Revival. So instead of giving us a TLC championship, is it even an action? Is it a TLC match? I don't think they announced that. I think it's just a SmackDown Tag Team Championship matchup straight up, because they had to give the cool TLC match to the singles match nobody gives a fuck about, that has no meaning to it and has nothing at stake. Here is where you would have wanted the TLC stipulation. I don't know whether or not that it has or has not been confirmed just yet, but this is a waste either way because you gave it to the Revival, a team we have seen the New Day fight throughout the entirety of the year of 2019 and probably even further before that, a team that has been stop-start pushed 100 times, a team that has no connection to the crowd, no connection with a fan base anymore. Their best things that they've contributed to the WWE are way behind them because their days in NXT are long gone. They haven't done anything to make you feel like they're even a shadow of what they were in NXT. And they're going to come out here, they're going to win this matchup, they're going to steal it, pretty much, as the heel team would do, and then claim they're going to bring old school wrestling, and it is a new day no more, and a whole entire promo little follow-up segment that I could have sworn I heard them say before. Haven't we heard all this same old shit before? They couldn't have gave us Heavy Machinery versus the New Day for the Tag Team Championships. They clearly don't give a shit who's babyface and who's heel anymore. None of that matters. So why not go with a new, different attraction? Why not go with the Ali G Show versus the New Day? Because right there, that's your answer. They're looking at it and go, well, we have 2 good guy teams and we have 1 bad guy team, and then we have the Shorty G and Ali team, so we have to give it to the heels because New Day is the babyface tag team. What would have been so wrong about giving this shot to Chad Gable and Ali? What would have been so wrong about letting us see the Lucha House Party even versus the New Day? How many times have we seen that? Not very many. But instead, Second verse, same as the first, and we are ending 2019 much in the same way we have spent it throughout the year as it pertains to the SmackDown Tag Team Division. It's just bullshit. The action in this matchup, like I said, was much appreciated. It was very, very good, and the New Day on commentary were not dreadful. They were not a very huge distraction, and they actually did add to the commentary. But after they win this match, the Revival demanded that the New Day no longer disrespect the tag team division just by merely existing, apparently. And they promised to save us all from the New Day at TLC. And I don't care. Caleb Braxton interviewed Roman Reigns in the back. He promised to defeat Dolph Ziggler and King Corbin when he faces them both, and I could care less. There's nothing to give a shit about. We had another vignette featuring Sheamus, who's on his way back to the SmackDown roster. He noted that all of the people he have fought before have now become ghosts, and there's nobody here that can stop him anymore. He's coming to take over. There's nobody to face him, and he's on his way home and is ready to defeat everybody. If there's nobody to face him, who are you defeating, Mr. Sheamus? These promos are dreadful. They remind me of the Aleister Black stuff, the AOP stuff. This is Sheamus, a former World Heavyweight Champion, a former King of the Ring. This guy and this promo should be way more intense. Why is he talking so quietly? Why is he being like Jake the Snake and whispering into the camera? You're not making me want to listen. You're making me want to go to sleep because you're fucking Sheamus. You should be showing us him banging on tires with a sledgehammer and breaking cinder blocks with his fists and saying a whole lot less. Get some of the footage from his Celtic Warrior YouTube channel. Show us him training to come back. Show us him getting his big old Celtic muscles back in shape. While he's saying, I'm coming back to take over SmackDown. This is my show. Whatever. But no, instead he's just sitting there and he's just talking into the camera. And it's just not coming across like a Sheamus promo. This is the second one of these now. And they've felt exactly the same. And there's nothing about the Sheamus character and this return based on these promos that feels any different. And he's just going to come back and be the same old Sheamus. And it's going to get really stale really quickly. And the answer to Sheamus is to put him back with Cesaro. Or at the very least, put him with Cesaro and Nakamura and Sami Zayn, all of which we did not see tonight. Be that as it may, it's not on. They might be on the other show, but hey, that's where he belongs. Sheamus belongs with Cesaro, no matter what show they're on. Lacey Evans, bam, bam. Let's talk about how we don't give a shit about the women's division. Boom, boom, boom. Because they don't give a shit about the women's division. You got Lacey Evans, a failed experiment. A woman who has failed to get over as a heel in the entirety of her tenure in the WWE main roster. And she's the one you're going to put all your hopes on as the main baby face in the women's division. Immediately opposite Sasha Banks and Bayley, who is currently holding the SmackDown Women's Championship. Why? Why? Oh, you think just because she's going to start talking about being a Marine that I'm going to turn around and be like, oh, well, I love her now? No, that's not how it works. I may come to appreciate her a year from now. Maybe 2 years from now, if she sticks it through and she stays true to the sport and she gets better at her craft. And I don't care that she could cut a promo that you might enjoy. I think her promos are garbage. And it's not her fault. It's not the delivery. It's what they're giving her to say. It's not giving me any reason to like her. It's not giving me any reason to support that character. I'm not like a military family type person where if I'm going to hear Marines, I'm just going to get up and salute and be like, yeah, she's a Marine, let's do this. Wrestling is about character. If she's a fucking Marine and you're going to go like that, then why didn't you allow that to be her character? be a part of her character this whole time. All of a sudden, she's a Marine. We've all known she's a Marine, but she never really brought that up. That would have been an excellent thing to bring up as a heel. I'm a Marine. You ain't shit. A Marine would kick your ass. A Marine could kill me, probably with his pinky finger. That doesn't automatically mean that we have to cheer for Lacey Evans because she was once one of them. I don't appreciate the sudden change in everybody's alignment going on. It's just 1 week to the next. This guy's this girl's like that. 1 week they hate everybody, 1 week they love everybody. Natalya flips-flops back and forth more times than the Big Show in the last few years. And it seems to be the trend with everybody else as they get to the show every week. They go, oh, well, who do we need to be a bad guy today? Well, we don't have a lot of bad guys anymore, boss. Oh, well, just switch it however you need them to be switched. We'll change it back next week. That's what we're watching here. Lacey Evans in a squash match against Haley Jones, a local regular nobody, probably a trainee from some local promotion, some independent girl. They got a nice little paycheck to come out there, take a nice right punch to the face, and job herself out. Good for you for getting a paycheck, girl. Otherwise, why are we watching Lacey Evans in squash matches? This is a woman that has had multiple opportunities at the Raw Women's Championship. She has been opposite the ring with Becky Lynch. She has been in the ring with the likes of Sasha Banks and Bayley and everybody else on Monday Night Raw. She has been in the ring more than anybody else with Natalya. And now she's doing squash matches. How does that make sense? Why are we regressing with our characters? She's supposed to be beating people that matter. On her way up to Sasha Banks. And then once she gets through Sasha Banks, she can get her shot at Bayley. Instead of having Dana Brooke causing problems with Drake Maverick, have her fighting Lacey Evans. Tell me which one of them is good and which one is bad. Apparently Dana Brooke is a good guy now too. Who's the predominant heels outside of Sasha and Bayley? Asuka and Kairi Sane are on Monday Night Raw. Where's Naomi? Where's Carmella? Where's anybody? Where's Liv Morgan? Where is everybody? It's all just becoming the same shit. We've seen Lacey Evans pushed against Becky Lynch all on her tenure on Raw. Now we are going to get Lacey Evans pushed versus the champion on SmackDown constantly. Charlotte 2.0, getting the Roman Reigns treatment, always being put in the predominant storyline just based off of who she is and based off of Vince McMahon's attraction level and his type. Crowds are starting to get behind it. I'm starting to hear this Lacey chant, and I'm just sitting there like, you're sheep. You're a bunch of fucking sheep. Daniel Bryan is right when he says the fans are fickle. Because 1 week we're booing her because she absolutely sucks, and now just because she's talking shit to a heel, everybody's Lacey, 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 Lacey. You're out of your mind. Not this guy. And I know you're not falling for that shit. None of this mattered either. They announced Bray Wyatt versus The Miz being official for TLC, and I'm just like, what? Here's a good little nugget for you guys. Shane McMahon is going to be on NCIS Los Angeles next week, turning it into NCI Sweat Los Angeles. How about them apples, Shane-O? Stay there. I hope you did so good that you get a recurring role and we never see you back on WWE TV again. Go sweat it up in the Naval Crime Investigation Unit. Fantastic. Stay there. At least you could just sweep his sweat off the sides of the aircraft carriers. It's a naval show, right? So they're on the fucking ocean. They're in the Navy. Put him out there. Let all his sweat get into the ocean. Give back to the earth. Make Daniel Bryan happy. Maybe he'll come back to the show. They had a video of the WWE stars meeting the troops. Tribute to the troops is a great thing that the WWE does. One of the very few great things that WWE do. The show, for us to watch as a television show, is usually just unimportant, and it just doesn't really fit with what they're trying to... What am I saying? I sound like I'm talking about an episode of Raw or SmackDown. Tribute to the Troops is about the same as that. You know, once upon a time, they used to put on really good shows for the troops. I'm sure they will put on fantastic shows for the troops. But those shows always kind of existed outside of what was happening in the WWE storyline department at that time. It was just like a get-together to have a good time, celebrate, make a tribute for the troops, meet and greets, have a great time. And it's good. I have nothing really bad to say about it. I just don't tune into it when they put it on USA. Just don't really put much stock into the story aspect of that particular episode. But if you are one of the troops that enjoy that, or if you are somebody that's just going to watch it, I'm sure you will watch it, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. I won't watch it or enjoy it if I did. The main event was given 30 minutes. The final 1/4 of this show was dedicated to Roman Reigns and Baron Corbin's storyline. Roman Reigns versus Dolph Ziggler in a match that was way too long. All it did was set up this spot at the end. Dolph and Roman are going at it, going back and forth. We're going to commercial breaks in between this matchup a bunch of times. We come back and we get Baron Corbin coming out. He's got his little sedan. He's got his bunch of clowns carrying him out. He's watching the matchup from his seat. Dolph Ziggler begins to give up the advantage. Roman Reigns seems to look like he's going to win this thing. Baron Corbin decides he's going to try to get involved, but to no avail. He still ends up beating Dolph Ziggler with a spear. As if you didn't know Roman Reigns was going to win this matchup. And then the 5 stupid sedan clowns decide they're going to try to jump Roman Reigns for their king. Dolph Ziggler's there. Bobby Roode's nowhere to be found. Maybe he smartened up and realized I need to not show up because I can't be a part of this garbage anymore. I don't want to have anything to do with it. And then Dolph Ziggler and Baron Corbin handcuff Roman Reigns to the ring post on the outside of the ring and smother him with dog food. And this just reeks of Vince McMahon. And I certainly hope that Roman Reigns got one hell of a little extra payoff tonight from the old man somehow. Send the man a bunch of strippers, do whatever it is that he wants to do. Send him a bunch of female dogs just so that he can sit there and pet them. Or maybe send him a puppy. Send him a bouquet of flowers and a bunch of balloons. Send him candies and chocolates and anything the man wants. Send him coconuts and pineapples if that's his thing. Send him anything he wants. Because if you fucking did that to me, you would be paying deep out of pocket. And I don't want to hear, oh, well, it's wrestling. You don't have to do anything in wrestling. You don't have to. And if you are going to not only be covered in dog food, but you are going to be covered in dog food by 2 irrelevant nobodies while I'm stuck in this dreadful feud from nowhere, you are going to pay through your teeth. So give this man an extra $250,000. Give him 10 new t-shirts for the Shop Zone so that his merchandise sales go up. Give him anything he wants, because that was the most embarrassing thing anybody could ever go through. And the fact that I watched this happen for him, and it still gives me zero interest in seeing him get his comeuppance because he's being placed against the most lackluster king since King Mabel, I'm not interested. And I don't care. And I tune in like a jerk-off because much like Roman Reigns, I, and you as a fan like me, are handcuffed to this shit. We can't turn away. We're handcuffed to pro wrestling. And then Vince McMahon and his goons come in and smear our face full of shit. And smear us full of dog food. And say, here, enjoy the taste of that, you clown. And we gotta sit there, thank you, sir. Can you let me go now? No, never. We're signing you with an extension in your contract. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Can I have another mouthful of dog shit, please? It's terrible. did nothing for me. I'm sure it did nothing for most of you guys, because the Sledgeheads know where it's at. It doesn't matter if you enjoyed this matchup. Oh, this was Dolph Ziggler's best match in it. Stop it. Stop it. It doesn't matter. Roman Reigns could have went out there and wrestled a broom. It would have been equally as effective, and you would have gotten the same result at the end. And the broom would have gotten in on digging in and putting the dog food that looked like dog shit all over Roman Reigns as well. Ladies and gentlemen, that was your episode of SmackDown. I hated every minute of it. I'm sure you're going to hear all kinds of other opinions. I know I'm not the only person most of you guys listen to, but I don't care. I am an island to myself. And I watched this show tonight and I didn't find one redeeming quality. I wasn't interested in what they did with Bray and The Miz. I certainly wasn't interested in anything they did in the women's division tonight, because it was all just garbage. And I certainly hated the 30 minutes devoted to the storyline that I am least interested in on SmackDown. The only thing worse than the Roman Reigns Corbin storyline is the Bobby Lashley Lana storyline. And both of them need to go away quickly, because wrestling is suffering because of it. We as fans are suffering because of it. And it needs to change. All these companies need to change. Even AEW. They're brand new and they've still got a lot ahead of them. And they got a lot of fucking work to do. And you can hear more about that on the most divisive AEW review in all of the community, because I'm the only one that tells you like it is when it comes to that company. I'm not sitting here tickling my ivories because, oh, look at Cody Rhodes and how cool he is with all his little buddies and their little wrestling show. Every wrestling show is equal here. I judge them with the same exact ferocity and intensity. And if you can't take it for them, but you could take it for here, then you're terrible. You're terrible. Oh, let's shit on WWE, but don't shit on AEW, you piece of crap guy. That's not how it works here. Everybody's fair game. Everybody's fair game. Thank you all so very much for joining me here tonight on the SmackDown Live review of SmackDown. I will never get used to not calling it SmackDown Live. I'm going to make that mistake probably once an episode, so just pretend like you didn't even hear it and let's just move on. Tonight's SmackDown was a sucktown, and we are going to call it a night on that. Thank you once again for being here. Don't forget to check out everything else on the channel. Don't forget to also pick up your t-shirts if you can. Bonfire.com/store/sledgehammer-tv. Get yours before they're gone when this holiday season wraps up this 2019 year. And also, the best way for you guys to support the channel, as we mentioned earlier, smash that like button, hit that thumbs up, man, if you enjoyed what we had to say today. Join the army. Join the Sledgehead Army, and please consider giving us a subscribe. If you made it this far and you're 38 minutes in and you enjoyed yourself and you laughed at everything I had to say and you understand where I'm coming from, then you need to be a part of the newest, fastest rising faction in all of the YouTube wrestling community, and they are the Sledgeheads of Sledgehammer TV, and they are mine. And my name is Nick Nightmare. This is the Team Thor, the Sledgehammer, the official Sledgehammer of the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, his tag team partner, the World Heavyweight Champion of all the microphones in all the world, Mr. Blue, the Snowball. The most important member of the team, as always, is each and every one of you. That, my friends, is going to do it. We are out of here. We will see you next time right here on your new favorite wrestling show, the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, only on Sledgehammer TV, right here on YouTube.com. Boom.